how does Elon Musk hail a Tesla RoboTaxi? He does the "my heart goes out to you" gesture. Hi, my name is Faruk and this is Waymo. It is a fully autonomous robotaxi that I love. And by now, I have ridden in it nearly 90 times, traveled more than 320 miles, and in total spent more than a day in it. Waymo, which is a subsidiary of Alphabet Inc., which is the parent company of Google, is very similar to Lyft and Uber. It is a ride-hailing service that has an app. You call it, it comes to you, and it takes you wherever you want to go. But this one in its service area, which we're going to talk about very soon. However, unlike Uber and Lyft, when you call a Waymo, it comes with this Jaguar I-Pace. So there's no lottery about what kind of a car you're going to get. And there's no lottery about what kind of a driver you're going to get. You're going to get someone who drives like crazy. No, you're going to get this driver, the Waymo driver, who drives wonderfully every single time. There's no lottery about how bad the car is gonna smell or what kind of a air freshener they're using to cover that bad smell. And unlike Uber and Lyft, when you call a car, if another car opens up that is closer to you, the app will assign that car to you. And there's no tipping. Once you get out of this thing, that's it. There's no emotional drag that, oh, should I tip the driver or anything like that. And also what that means is your driver cannot be that guy is watching a video. That guy's watching YouTube. What that means is your driver cannot be sleepy, cannot be high, cannot be drunk, cannot be sick, coughing germs around, and cannot be racist. Which also means your driver cannot talk to you when you just want to go from A to B and just relax. And if you read the safety reports, which you should, to see what happens in Lyft and Uber, there is no chance of something bad happening to you. In Waymo, you're by yourself. You can set the AC to whatever you like. You can blast the music as you like. You can film yourself as you like. This is almost like your car, but only better. So believe me when I say this, I've taken Waymo in order to go to work. I've taken Waymo in order to go to parties. I've taken Waymo in sickness, in health, and I'm gonna take it till death do us apart. And trust me, after you ride one of these, you will feel the same. Now, the name Waymo may sound new, but actually this thing started in 2004 as Stanford self-driving car team. Then in 2009, it became Google's self-driving car project. And then in 2016, it became the subsidiary of Alphabet Inc. And in 2018, Waymo bought 20,000 of Jaguar I-Paces. And in March 2020, Waymo announced the 5th generation of Waymo driver, which is this one. Now, Jaguar I-Pace is a very comfortable SUV. It is a little tight when you're sitting at the back with 3 people. Typical Tesla. I said what I said.
Yeah, you did. They laughed too.
But overall, it's really nice and fresh and new. This vehicle is equipped with a lot of LiDARs, cameras, and radars, and all for a really good reason. The LiDAR gives this car a 360 3D picture of its surroundings, allowing the vehicle to measure the size and the distance of the objects up to 300 meters. Cameras give overlapping field of views. The 360 vision system and the long-range camera can see things like stop signs and pedestrians up to 500 meters away. The parameter vision system gives way more information about objects that are up close, and it works together with parameter LiDAR. And then there is peripheral vision system, which are the things that are extruding at the front. And that thing gives Waymo a little bit of, extra view when it wants to take over a car or something, or whenever it wants to see what's around that corner. The radar helps to see and measure the velocity of the things around it. And the good thing about radar, it works in rain, it works in fog and snow. And then, of course, every Waymo has AI. We have a computer in this car that computes, that takes all of that information and knows what's going on around it. And let me tell you this, when I was in a Waymo, I wasn't driving, on Santa Monica, there's a parking lot that's a little lower than this floor level, and there were cars in it. There were openings on that parking lot. You may know this from Grand Theft Auto, if you don't know what parking lot I'm talking about. It was able to see the cars in there, and it was showing me on the screen. Also, Waymo understands the cop cars, the ambulances, the fire trucks, and acts accordingly. If they're coming, if the siren is on, it goes to the side and waits. It understands hand gestures, so what that means is if the traffic lights are not working and there's a cop gesturing come here or stop, it moves accordingly. Waymo is also equipped with backup. So there's a redundant computer, there's a redundant driving system, a redundant braking system, and backup power. It is almost like they care about your life, unlike the other self-driving cars where you're the crash test dummy. Now, Waymo is not available everywhere. It is available in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Austin, and Atlanta. And soon it's coming to Miami, Washington, D.C., and possibly New York. And you know what? Waymo is not gonna here in New York. Hey, I'm walking here. Probably. I'm just guessing. Right now, there are 1,500 Waymos out there going around servicing people. I'm guessing the other 500, they burned it down. Never mind, we're gonna talk about that later. But next year, they're gonna add 2,000 more Waymos. And besides Jaguar I-Pace, there is another type of Waymo coming, and that is Zeekr RT. Hey, look at that! Oh my gosh! I was just thinking about this. We have the other Waymo Zeekr in front of us right there. This is another Waymo. So it comes and picks you up in this Jaguar I-Pace, but soon it will be coming and picking you up in this Zeekr RT, if I'm not mistaken. The seats at the front can turn towards the back. It has like a little table that comes out. Waymo, pass it! Pass it so we see it from the side. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see this. Go take it, take it, take it. Yes, we're gonna stop right next to it. Yeah, look at that. This is incredible! I can't wait to ride one. And that's gonna have the 6th generation Waymo driver. So it's gonna be more advanced.
Good evening, Faruk.
Let's go for a ride, bro. Compared to Uber and Lyft, Waymo is usually cheaper, which is something I like. And let's just keep it that way because, we know what's gonna happen once we get used to this. Let's not do that, okay? Let's keep the price low. Come on. When this first came to Los Angeles in 2024, you had to join a wait list. Now there's no wait list. You download the app and you start traveling around. And I joined in March 2024, and in June 2024, I was accepted, and then I became a trusted tester. You can apply to be a trusted tester as well. And what I do as a trusted tester is, I don't know what the difference is. I like to give a lot of feedback. I have ideas about how Waymo should do things. The service area is the thing that may make it or break it for you, because when this first started, the service area was not close to me. I had to go where the service area is just for the fun of riding a Waymo, and then ride it and then get out and then go back home. Now the service area is bigger and it's getting bigger by the minute. But so far, it doesn't go on freeways. It doesn't go to the airport, which kind of makes sense to me. So there are limitations to look out for. I don't know where the strap is. We stopped once again for the sirens. All right, now let's say you want to ride a Waymo. What's going to happen? You're going to download the app and then you're going to put in your information. Very straightforward. It's very much like Uber and Lyft. And then once you call the Waymo is going to come to pick you up. On the top of its hat, it's going to display your initials once it pulls up next to you, so you know which car is yours. And if you want, you can even make it play a sound. And then Waymo waits for you depending on how the traffic is and then where it stopped. This can be 2 minutes up to 6 minutes or whatever. That's the range I saw. And then when you come close to the car, either you can set this in your app, the Waymo unlocks by itself, understanding how close you are to the car, or you can tap the button on your app and unlock it yourself. You can also open the trunk and put your stuff in. And the good thing is when you put your stuff in the trunk, it knows. So once you come to your stop, and it reminds you, and when you open the door, it opens the trunk for you to take your stuff out.
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting and don't forget any items in the trunk.
And if you're driving at night, like I'm doing right now, there's a gorgeous light that shines on the floor and it says Waymo where the door is. We have a gorgeous screen with a lot of information on it. You can play music, you can have the car pull over, you can call support, you can change the AC, iHeart Radio, Spotify, you can change your route, you can look at your route, you get information about this car, riding tips, and privacy information. Now, of course, you cannot sit in the driver's seat, but you can sit in this shotgun passenger seat. But every time you get in, you have to adjust the seat for yourself, because when you get out, everything goes to its default place to make sure it gives most space to the people sitting at the back. You can leave the lights on, you can leave AC at whatever you want, you can leave your seat as it is, and once you're out, it switches those to the default position for the next customer. But you cannot leave the doors and the trunk open. That's not gonna work because it cannot close those by itself. Someone from Waymo has to come if you do that, so try not to do that. And if you're in the car for the first time, Waymo kind of explains to you how things are gonna go, and then you hit the blue start ride button and it just takes off. And the first ride, you're gonna have the best time. I wish I can ride this for the first time again. This is like Sixth Sense. You're gonna see that the best driver in the world literally doesn't exist. You will wish that you experience this again. So film it, record your reaction. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have a great time. It's a wonderful feeling. After actually a couple of times, you're not even thinking about it. I mean, we're driving on Sunset right now, and it's 11:23. Look, what time is it? It is 11 p.m. It's dark, and I couldn't care less. As I mentioned before, if you're getting motion sickness in especially electric cars or any cars, there's rarely any motion sickness happening in this car so far. You can be on your phone, you can be on your laptop, you can be looking backwards filming your video, and it is still fine. It is so smooth with the acceleration, braking, and steering. It is not timid. It is very effective. It gets you where you're going. If it's yellow light, it speeds through it. It knows what to do. If there's a car on the right, if there's no one's coming, it doesn't wait behind it. Most of the time, it just goes around it. So it is a very effective, very good driver. And this, driving at night, is very therapeutic. I do this every once in a while. I'm doing this right now to film this. But sometimes I just get in a Waymo and have it drive me around. And the thing is, in the app, you can put stops to where you're going. So you can tell Waymo, make a round trip. And how that works is it goes and stops somewhere, and then you can either hit continue, it may go back, or you can get out and it will send you a new car. And until now, I always stayed in the car when I did the stop. But today, I want to get out and take care of actual business. Spoken to someone in the app using the chat feature, and they told me that this actual car can wait for me for 30 minutes but never leave your stuff in it, because actually this car, if it needs to go, it will go, and then they will send you another car. But the beauty of this thing is it costs so much less than getting one ride to wherever you're going and then getting another ride and then go back. Arrived at my mall, I got out, and my car left immediately. So keep that in mind. And then there's no countdown. They told me there was going to be a countdown in the app, just like while you're waiting for Waymo to arrive, there's a countdown. There was no countdown, so I decided to milk it to see what happens. Around 31 minutes, the app went from, get your ride, call Waymo back, to thank you for riding Waymo with Waymo. So I had to call a Waymo again, which meant I paid a lot more than what it could have been with a round trip. But we're doing this all for the sake of this video, so it's fine. There are cameras in the car, there are microphones in the car. While you're riding, the mics are off unless they contact you, but the cameras are always on. So if you're planning to make Waymo rockin', they'll come and knock it. So when it comes to driving, I don't know if you can tell, but Waymo is not timid. Waymo is not waiting for others to go first. Waymo just drives. And it's very effective, and I love that about Waymo. It is very much like a human. If it sees an opening, it just goes. If it sees yellow light, we can drive through yellow light. It knows the timing and it just goes. It doesn't play timid. And once we got stuck behind not only a U-Haul truck and a garbage truck, and people were turning around, they were trying to get out, they were trying to back out, and we were at the very end blocking them at the other end.
Turning hazard lights on.
And there was an announcement in this car saying, hey, stay in the car, which is very effective because the first instinct you have is try to get out the car.
Our team is working to get you moving.
Okay.
Please remain in the car with your seatbelt fastened.
Waymo knows what's going on. It will let the people know, and then they will find a solution, which it did.
This is the coolest thing I've ever experienced.
Wow! This was unbelievable. If you have an animal, you can have the animal in the car as long as it's with you. And just imagine, I know you cannot do this, and please don't do this, but if the dog sits here and you're sitting here and someone sees you going somewhere like that, I think that can be hilarious. And of course, if something goes wrong, there's a QR code in the window. We have insurance information here, and then there's pullover option on the screen, and then you can do the same thing in your app. You're safe. You can contact the people, and then that's when the microphone turns on. You're good. Now, when it comes to music, there's iHeart Radio, and then there's Spotify. That's it. You cannot connect to this sound system via your Bluetooth. You cannot connect it via the USB-C connection we have here, or there's no Apple Music. And interestingly, there's no YouTube music. There's no YouTube music. But in the app, you can set your EQ, and it remembers your EQ, and it's a really nice sound system. These chargers back here, they're really good, they're really powerful, so you can charge your phone or whatever you like in no time. Now, of course, you are a passenger in this car. This is not your car, which is really difficult to tell your brain after so many rides. But of course, when it comes to don'ts, don't touch the steering wheel, do not touch the windshield wiper thingies, do not touch anything over there, just stay away from there. And when you reach your destination and it's time to get out, if you forget something in the car, you have a couple of seconds to open the doors again. But if you forget something, don't worry about it, because they know through the cameras that there's something different in the car, and then they'll contact you about it. And after the ride, you get a notification showing you how much carbon dioxide emissions you saved, which is a really nice touch. The app is very straightforward. It's super simple to understand, especially if you use Uber or Lyft. You can share your ride, you can contact support, you can chat, and then you can put it in your favorite locations and stuff like that. It is very easy.
Proceeding on Saturn Street.
That's an accessibility feature that I turned on. There are accessibility features in the app as well. This just tells you what's going on in case like you are you can't see, and then you want to know what's happening in this car because you don't know what it's doing. So if you're vision impaired, I hope I'm saying that right, it gives you an idea about what's going on, so you're not just sitting there hoping that this car is taking you where you want to go. So when you're ready, you can hit start right button on the screen in front of you.
And you got your spell on right?
Heading home.
Are the pedals going down?
No, but the wheel is turning.
Yeah, I bet they did that on purpose.
You see what it sees in the screen in front of you? So you
That's
can...
what it's seeing.
Yeah, so all those little blue cars are all the cars it can see. So it sees more than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's technically safer.
It is
Yes.
safer, yeah. Technically and
Supposed to be.
Statistically, so
statistically. Any motion sickness?
No.
Is it driving good?
Yeah. That reminds me, it's trash day today.
There's also a teen program. If your age is between 14 and 17, your parents can sign you up. You can ride Waymo by yourself, which is great because there's no driver, so there's nothing to worry about. And your parents get notified about where you're going, what you're doing, all about that stuff. And they can connect you to your parents too. So if you're a teenager and you get into the car and you want to talk to your parents, you can use Waymo as well. But of course, there are lacking things. Like when I'm booking a ride, I want to be able to say, hey, I'm gonna sit at the front, please set the seat to the position I like, and please set the AC to 68 degrees, please. Actually, if you think about it, Waymo, if the seat is in the position I want, I'll be leaving quicker. Once we experienced phantom braking as it was pulling to the side, this was on the first rides, and I immediately wrote a feedback. We were allowed to stop, maybe we were going 1 mile an hour. It just did that phantom brake, and that was the only time I experienced this. Sometimes it stops in front of driveway and then they put an update about it, so if your car stops in front of a driveway, and if you're in it, you can say, hey, just pull forward a little bit. What is this? You know, you're blocking people. But if it's coming to pick you up, it can still block the driveway, but technically if someone's behind it and it honks, Waymo should be able to move, but I haven't witnessed this myself yet. And one time only, we got into the Waymo and there was this image on the screen that usually never see that, and it looked like, I can't remember, I wish I filmed it. And then it said something about that, and that sounded like an ad. And I hope that never happens again. No ads in the car, please. let's not ruin this amazing thing we have here. But of course, you're sharing this with other people, and people are people. So sometimes you find other people's trash laying around. Sometimes they leave the car smelling as if they smoked. If there's a system that, you know, brings their points down or something, I would love that. And as you can guess, you cannot consume alcohol in this vehicle. So if you're planning to have a happy hour with your friends, that's not gonna happen. More often than not, every once in a while, I come across a Waymo that has the air vent in the back broken, especially on this side. And I think the reason for that is because people, while they're getting in and out, they hit it with their knee. So the air vent that is supposed to blow some cold air towards you is broken. And for some reason, sometimes the rear tires of Waymo, only the rear tires, have this brown dusty thing on it, as if on its free time, Waymo goes and does donuts in some parking lot or something. And the worst thing is that the seat belts smell like perfume. Unbelievable. Every Waymo seat belt smells like perfume. I wonder if Waymo is doing this. But the thing is, this thing rubs on your clothes sometimes, and it really, really bothers us.
And it is absolutely disgusting. It makes me sick. And it's a shame because the ride does not make me sick. It's just the smell of the perfume.
And as you may have seen, poor Waymos, some of them got burned down. So you know, when robots take over, those people are gonna be in a lot of trouble. Joking aside, besides that, they decorate Waymos with art and it makes it look so cute. I've seen a couple of those and it is really nice. I like to see more. Now you may be wondering, for example, this one has 57 miles range remaining. What happens? Well, these things go to this special place like the parking lot of a CVS or something. And then they charge there, and then they get serviced there, they get cleaned up, and then they go up on the road. Which brings us to my guest, Sophia. Waymos were parking just downstairs outside of her window.
It's fucking 4 a.m.
Welcome to my channel, Sophia.
Thanks for having me.
We met actually pretty recently.
Pretty recently, yeah. Maybe the end of July, beginning of August. One night I just realized, wait, why is it so noisy outside? So I looked out the window and there's a parking lot right in front of my apartment building, which is normally monthly parking. I'm used to there not being any cars there at night because everybody leaves the office and goes home. I look out the window and I go, wait, hold on, why are there so many Waymos in the parking lot? Well, it turns out that Waymo had rented that lot as their downtown, central depot where the cars could go, when there's downtime.
Proceeding on Occidental Boulevard.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It turns out that their, parking algorithm hadn't quite been figured out for that lot, and they were, sort of causing a little bit of a traffic jam in that parking lot. So that was my first major introduction to Waymo depots. Previous to that happening was a trusted tester in San Francisco for Waymo, which I had signed up for.
Yeah.
So I was already familiar with the service. Having the depot there was sort of a whole other dimension to it that I had never experienced before. Being thrust into the limelight moment for me with self-driving, and since then, I've really been interested in how things work, because it's a major moment for us, because they're robots on the road, intermingling with humans in a predominantly human space. They sort of slightly localize each region. So in LA, they drive more aggressive than they do in San Francisco, where they're a little bit more cautious because it's more dense.
Yeah.
In other cities like Atlanta, in Austin, it's all different. And I expect, they're testing in New York right now as we record this. And I expect they're going to have a significantly different driving model in New York than they do in California. Currently, I believe, I've been told by people maybe on the inside that I currently have the longest consumer ride that has ever been done, which is a little bit over 6.5 hours straight. So that's with no stops, no getting off of the car, just get in, go for 6.5 hours, and the car runs out of battery, get out.
Wow. How did you bring food? Like how did you plan this?
And because the Waymos are parked under my window, and in the depots, the LiDAR on top where they usually displays, like the rider pickup initials, it actually displays the charge level of the car. So I was able to look at the charge levels, because whenever I ordered a Waymo, it would dispatch exactly from that lot in front of my window. And if the charge level showed medium or low, I would cancel it. So when the car is full battery, it doesn't show the charge level. When it's half or low battery, it shows a yellow battery icon, and you can see what charge it's at. So I kept on canceling until I got one that was pretty full charge, like around 85% or so. And I took that car, and I had a list of, waypoints for the car to go to, so that it would go all around the city, go down to South San Francisco, back up, etc. And I was just taking the longest ways between the waypoints possible. So I was able to stretch that out, for 6.5 hours, and that's how it happened. One of their CEOs actually went on stage and presented a bunch of edge cases that they've encountered. So one of them was basically a pedestrian was behind a city bus, and they were, going to basically run out in front of the city bus right into the path of a Waymo. And the Waymo was able to detect it because it was able to detect the shadow of the person underneath the bus, even though the person is completely obscured by the bus, and see that and go like, oh, there's probably a person there. The trajectory is going to come out right in front of me, so I'm going to slow down and preemptively move over in the lane. Here is my fact that many people maybe don't know. So after each ride, if there is a long enough distance between rides, what will happen is after the car moves away, it will roll down all the windows and blast the AC on full, on high, to get rid of any previous smells that previous occupants might have left in the car.
Well, thank you so much for being in my video.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you have a channel. I'm gonna link Sophia's channel. You should check it out. It's really great. I love the video about Matic. I cannot say it properly, but that super vacuum that we love. I want to review that as well. And then hopefully see you again soon.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how we just made this work. Okay, so what I want from Waymo, everything is great, but I want to be able to talk to Waymo. I grew up with Knight Rider. Come on, give me a talking car already. Not a lot of talking, but let's say you dropped me off at the airport, okay? And then you pick me up. You say, how was your travels? I mean, I would love that. I would love that. We have Bard, we have all those things. Come on. I want to be able to chat. Also, I want to be able to say like, get in and say like, follow that car. My friend is taking us somewhere. I don't know where we're going. Actually, I just made that up. That's a horrible example. But I just want to say just because I want to say follow that car. And why don't we have massage chairs? I heard that if you fall asleep, they wake you up when it's time to get out. After spending all those miles and minutes in this car, I can tell that this thing drives better than a human, like a human, better than a human. And when my doctor said, do you have someone to drive you back after your operation? And I was thinking, yeah. You want to meet that person? You can't. And imagine if all of these cars were autonomous, then Waymo, it would be a very bad news for traffic because there wouldn't be traffic anymore. But is Waymo perfect? Of course not. But it is getting there. It is getting there fast, and I believe they're doing this the right way. I feel like this is the evolution of car rides. Just like how Uber and Lyft destroyed taxi, I think soon no one will want humans to drive cars because they cause all the traffic. They drive drunk, they drive sleepy, they do that, they are on their phones. Well, thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think about Waymo. I spent a lot of time making this video. I made a lot of research and now I love to hear what you think about this. Let me know in the comment section below, and until I see you the next time, take really good care of yourselves.
Phone, keys, or wallet.
And hoşça kalın.